Welcome back to the K Monet Life. It's me, K Monet, and I am here with another K's Quick tip. This tip happened to me by accident. Hubby wanted some ribs. I don't do ribs, so I wasn't in such a rush to make them. And when I did, not only did I use cheap foil, very thin foil, I did not line my pan properly to prevent this. So when you are in the position that I am in, burnt edges, grease, and some of the foil, you have to do a lot of scrubbing to get this clean. Now, there's going to be some scrubbing entailed in this. However, I want to make it a little bit easier, and I'm going to show you how to do that with two products using fabric softener sheets. Yes, fabric softener sheets, and usually one or two will do the trick, but for this mess I may have to use three. We'll see how big our sheets are. And hot water. Now, I put this water in the microwave to get it hotter because I have a serious mess on my hands. So all you have to do is take sheets and water, and it will loosen up this grease. So I'm going to take a couple of the sheets. Usually I only use two, but I usually don't have such a mess. So I'm going to use 3 of the sheets. I'm going to place that in the bottom of your pan. So if you're not trying to use fabric softener sheets, you can use baking soda. Just take the baking soda, sprinkle enough on the pan to cover the entire pan, put enough hot water on top of that baking soda to make it paste. Let that sit for an hour, then you can come back, add your water and your soap, and get to scrubbing. The baking soda will help loosen the grease that's in the pan as well as the burnt food that's in the pan. So now that you have your fabric softener sheets in the pan, as so, take your water, make sure that it's hot. You don't want to use lukewarm water because it's not going to do the trick. And just pour that water on top of the sheets into the pan. Now, I want to make sure that I have enough water in this pan to get to the sides where I actually see burnt food. So I'm going to add additional water to this pan. What I'm going to do after I add that water is what we normally do. We just put water in it and we let it sit. So I'm going to do the same thing. Because this has sat overnight so that I could do the video today, I want to make sure that it sits long enough, not long enough, excuse me. So I'm going to allow this pan to sit for a couple of hours until I see some of the residue pulling up from the pan. The amount of time that it takes is up to how much damage you have done to the pan. However, 1 to 3 hours should do the trick. So I'm going to let it sit on here for just that, about 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm going to come back, pull out the sheets, throw those away, and go ahead and clean out the pan and see how much progress I have made. If I have not made any progress on this go around, then I'll go ahead and do the process again with fresh sheets. Or I can go ahead and do the baking soda method. It's just basically up to me and what I feel like. But we'll come back and see what these sheets and hot water have done for this pan. So after about 3 hours, this is what I have. And as you can see, over here and over here, the grease has piled up and kinda is on top of the fabric softener cloth. So what I'm going to do now is take the cloth, the cloths out of the water and attempt to do my first scrub. So I want to give you an idea of what has come off. Sound real northern there. What has come off from the pan so far. And that is just with a brush. Now, I had to cut some vegetables up, so I didn't have time to scrub right then. So I just put a little Dawn and some water in it and let it sit a little while I was cutting vegetables, just to maximize my time. And this is what we're working with. The remaining will come off with a Brillo pad, because my brush, of course, can't get in those corners. And so that is with a first cleaning of that pan. And you saw how ridiculous that pan looked. So the center, of course, was very easy. But yeah, those edges, that's what I was dreading. But that's what happens when you don't fold your pan properly and with the heavy duty aluminum foil like I usually do. So I'll be back. So there you have it. Look how beautiful that pan is. It is clean. There's no more burnt food, and I am excited. Thank you, Jesus. If there's a task or in a dilemma that you'd like me to tackle in my next Kay's Quick Tip, leave it in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, why be quiet? Live your life out loud.